Masquera say, Mure Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel Zim Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana kari kitanga kukuya panini channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Kana chungwa gara waka subscriber, don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasi Mure Zimbabwe takigira inyaya, yabuditswa ya former foreign affairs minister, wawota Mzembi, abo, Warukunze Vasafa, a major setback with the Harare magistrate revoking his bail and ordering him back to the prison. Nyaya yakabuda mushirima ikunge vawota Mzembi vakaonekwa vachidzoka muZimbabwe. The 61-year-old was on trial nenyaya yekuabhisa office and theft of trust property yakaitika mugore 2018. Vakabuda munyika yeZimbabwe vachienda kuSouth Africa kwavainzi vaisika medical attention. So varikunzi vakafeila kuatenda trial zvakalead to 3 outstanding warrants of arrest ayo avadzokera mugore rino reZimbabwe. Nyaya yakabuditswa nemaizimbabwe.com vachiraya vachiti the former foreign affairs minister Walter Mzembi's attempt to return to Zimbabwean politics has suffered a major setback, with a Harare magistrate revoking his bail and ordering him back to prison. This follows his arrest upon his surprise return to the country after years spent in self-imposed exile. The 61-year-old Mzembi was on trial for criminal abuse of office and theft of trust property in 2018 when he left the country, reportedly to seek medical attention in South Africa. His failure to attend trial led to 3 outstanding warrants of his arrest. Contrary to widespread media reports, former Foreign Affairs Minister Walter Mzembi, who also served as tourism minister prior to that under the late ex-President Robert Mugabe, did not meet President Emmerson Mnangagwa when he surprisingly returned home on Wednesday after leaving the country in 2018 under a cloud of corruption charges. Mzembi and many other senior former ZANU-PF and government officials, including fellow former ministers Jonathan Moyo, Kasukuwere, and Patrick João, who were loyal to Mnangagwa, left or stayed out of the country during the November 2017 historic coup which brought Mnangagwa to power. Mzembi and Kasukuwere then made failed bids to return home as they were hit with corruption charges in a politically charged environment, forcing them out again. In 2023, Kasukuwere, backed by Mzembi as his campaign manager, tried to challenge Mnangagwa in his presidential election, but was barred from contesting. The two former ministers, fierce Mnangagwa critics, but always wanted to come back home from self-imposed exile in neighboring countries. Mzembi tried to return again this week, but after failing to meet Mnangagwa on Wednesday, he was arrested yesterday on corruption charges dating back to 2018. He will appear in court anytime. The former minister was closely aligned with exiled former ministers Kasukuwere, Jonathan Moyo, and Patrick João, key members of Mugabe's inner circle who were pushed out during the coup. Mzembi served as campaign manager for Kasukuwere in the 2023 general elections, in which Kasukuwere attempted to challenge Mnangagwa for the presidency. The Zimbabwean courts, however, barred his candidacy. His trial is now set to resume on July 1, with him coming from prison. Harare magistrate Donald Ndirowei heard from Mzembi's legal team, led by Kilian Mandiki, who argued that the former minister was being treated for cancer and had decided to return after his health improved. Mzembi's lawyer, Mr. Kilian Mandiki, filed written submissions, arguing that his client's absence from court was not deliberate. He explained that Mzembi had been granted the temporary release of his passport to seek emergency medical treatment in South Africa after being diagnosed with advanced rectal cancer, for which he underwent surgery. According to Mandiki, Mzembi later relocated to Zambia in early 2024 after he was unable to continue his treatment in South Africa due to travel documentation issues. Upon arrival in Zambia, his condition had reportedly deteriorated significantly. He was immediately admitted to hospital, placed on oxygen support, and closely monitored for over 10 days. Medical records substantiating his condition were submitted to the court as part of his defense. However, Ndirowei was unconvinced, stating that Mzembi was not so sick that he could not attend trial. He ruled there is a gap as to what transpired in his medical report. The attached medical report would have worked if he had availed himself in 2020, not in 2025. It has not been proven that all these years he was bedridden, such that he could not travel to Zimbabwe to cancel his warrants of arrest. His warrants of arrest are hereby confirmed, bail is revoked, the accused is hereby committed to prison pending trial. The magistrate also noted that Mazembe was a campaign manager for presidential candidate Kasukuwere, who announced his campaign from his South Africa exile in 2023 before he was barred from standing by a court. The charges against Mazembe stem from the disposal of televisions worth 2 million while he was tourism minister. Mazembe was initially arrested in January 2018 and later released on bail. He faced accusations of converting public property for personal use, including 16 television sets worth 800,000, which had been procured for public viewing during the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. The televisions were allegedly donated to churches, including Walter Magaya Prophetic Healing and Deliverance Ministries and Emmanuel Makandiwa's United Family International Church. He also faces allegations of misappropriating US $1.6 million meant for 2018 United Nations World Tourism Organization General Assembly, which was jointly hosted by Zimbabwe and Zambia in Victoria Falls. The National Prosecuting Authority previously recovered 261,000 of the missing funds and had sought Interpol's help for Mazembe's extradition in 2019 after his abscond trial. His warrant of arrest was issued on September 19 after he failed to appear for trial, leading to formal proceedings being set for later that month. Despite repeated calls to return and clear his name, Mazembe remained in self-imposed exile, primarily in South Africa and Zambia. Mazembe's legal troubles are now back in full motion, and it remains to be seen whether he will face trial this week or seek another way to escape prosecution. His lawyer at the time of the initial charges was Job Sikala, a prominent opposition figure and close relative. This latest development reignites debate over political retribution, the fairness of the justice system, and the continued fallout of the 2017 power transition that continues to shape Zimbabwe's political landscape. Former Tourism Minister Walter Mazembe, who ended his political career under the late former President Robert Mugabe as Foreign Affairs Minister, has been arrested by the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission for the case dating back to 2018. Mazembe returned home from Zambia 3 days ago in a bid to fix unresolved political issues with President Emmerson Mnangagwa's government after the 2017 coup fallout. After surprisingly arriving in Harare to fix his proper return home and subsequently failing to meet Mnangagwa, Mazembe, who was former minister and ZANU-PF political commissar, Kasukuwere's campaign manager during 2023 general elections, was left exposed and vulnerable. The now South African-based Kasukuwere, working with Mazembe then, tried to challenge Mnangagwa in 2023, but was barred from presidential election. Kasukuwere and others, including Jonathan Moyo, who were Mugabe allies, fighting Mnangagwa's ZANU-PF faction over the ruling party contentious succession issue, escaped the coup in 2017. Kasukuwere returned home in 2018, but left after failing to secure his stay, leading to his departure again. While briefly home, he was arrested for skipping the border and appeared in court. He was also charged with 4 counts of criminal abuse of office. Without political protection for Mazembe, ZAC moved in on him yesterday to revive the 2018 corruption case, starting with his warrant of arrest. Mazembe was first arrested on 5 January 2018 and appeared in court the next day, where he was granted bail. Following his corruption case in 2018 and subsequent court appearances, Mazembe was issued with a warrant in 2019 for skipping trial, where he was accused of converting televisions worth close to 1 million, bought fun packs during 2010 World Cup hosted by South Africa on his own use. Ndomabuditsiro wakati nyaya iyi muri Zimbabwe ni myzimbabwe.com singaziva kuti munenasiye nyaya iyi tiudziwe zvamuri kufunga mu comment section.